Hello, everyone. This is Shweta Maheshwari, author of the book She Met Life and Life at the Red Crossroads. And here today, I am with one of the another guests at my show, Vocal with Local. And today, the personality who is over here is Geeta Kashyap, ma'am. Geeta Kashyap ma'am, and if I'll talk about her, means it will take a lot of time because Geeta Kashyap ma'am, let me tell you where I met her. So I met her at one of our books club, that is Leaders Our Readers Book Club, and during every meet, she captures the entire show and the way she produces her things, her experiences, and she is always a winner at that club, and that is what mesmerized me, charmed me. And you must be knowing that a few days back I also had a session at Leaders Are Readers Book Club, and she is one of the winners. She is one of the person, I would say she is one of the thought designers that day, and she expressed many things about her and her experience that day. So let me introduce her, Geeta Kashyap ma'am. She is a senior English teacher in one of the renowned public schools, and she had worked for more than 26 years over there. She is the coordinator of Hindu newspaper, which is issued for the students of her school, and she was also a part of editorial board for the school magazine. She has been a friend, a philosopher, and a guide to many students and also to her own children. And right now, she is with her children. She's staying in Dubai right now just to be with their children. Her children are doing extremely well in life and they are settled in Dubai. Right now, she's spending a great time with them, and she loves to enjoy every moment of her life. So I welcome you, Geetya Kashyap ma'am, over here on my show, Vocal with Local.
Thank you so much, Shweta Maheshwari, for that wonderful, for those kind words. Though I don't deserve that, but I'm so thankful to you. I'm really honored to be part of your meeting today, and I'm elated. I'm really happy. Uh,
Thank you so much,
thank
Geeta ma'am. Thank you so much. And I know you have a lot of experiences in your box. You have a lot to share, a lot of lessons to share with my viewers today. And I really want you to tell each and everything, to explain them whatever I ask you, or if you think that you can say something, suggest something, please go ahead with that. So first of all, my question would be, ma'am, like, how can you play all these different roles of being a friend, philosopher, and guide, and above them, a teacher for your students? Means, how is it possible to juggle around all the roles?
thank you, Shweta, for that amazing question. Yeah, I really love to be a friend, philosopher, and guide to my students, to my own children. And I tell you, sometimes it becomes a little difficult in the sense that when you're very friendly with your students or with your children, they take advantage of the situation. So sometimes it becomes difficult to manage, but unless and until you are friendly with them, they will never open up to you. They will never come out with their problems. And you, as you know, these days, the youngsters, they are facing so many problems. They're facing a number of problems, and unless and until the parents at home and the teachers open up with them, they have to be friendly. We have to adopt that friendly nature. And the best part is, when we are friendly with them, they come out openly, and the end result should be good. That is what is required. I feel so elated, I feel so happy when my students come back after reaching the senior position. Some of them are IAS officers, doctors, engineers, and when they come back and say, "Ma'am, whatever I am today is all because of you," that's enough. That's enough for me. And I don't need anything else. That gives me the pleasure to the core of my heart. Even my own children, though at times they were indisciplined because of my leniency, I wasn't very strict a mother, never a very strict a teacher. Sometimes they would take advantage of the situation, but the end result was again good. Both of them are doing extremely well placed in their life. And what more can a mother want? And the moral values, I've instilled the moral values in them. And thankfully, my children, especially my son, is a philanthropist. He loves to donate even more than we have done in our life. So this is what every parent is proud of. So I'm really proud of my children. I'm proud of my students. I'm proud of being a teacher.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is beautiful. And you really talked about moral values. And we all know, as a teacher, I too understand. I may not say that it is depleting in the children these days, but still they don't really understand the value of certain things. So how can we inculcate those things like which are valuable to it's their future, their career, their entirely on mobiles. This net era has really brought a lot of change. So how can we inculcate like balancing both the things, moral values as well as the change in the society, what it is going on? So how should we do it? Can you please put some highlight on
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, again, the same thing. We cannot be very strict with them. We cannot tell them to get away from all the social media, totally, completely free of that. No, they cannot. They will not listen to you if you're very strict. The only way out is talk to them and give them more and set your own example. You have to set your own example. You have to show
Yes.
them that moral character. First you do it. If you are not doing it, they say that children follow whatever their parents do. If you are all the time on mobile, if you are all the
Yeah.
time on the social media, and if you don't have moral values in you, do you think your parents will your children will even learn all those things? They learn it because first, the most important thing is set an example. Secondly, keep talking to them, give them small, talk to them about small motivational stories, whatever impresses you, keep talking to them. That is important. Even my students, being an English teacher, I had ample time to talk to my students about all this. So every time we would get time, after the chapter is completed, or even at times I would give them the whole period free, and I would talk about all these things, what the problems that are going on in and around them. So talking to them really helps, and thankfully they all loved me a lot because of that. And even today they send me messages, ma'am, we remember all those personal examples and stories that you had been telling us. And I really, that's what we gain, that's what we have, that's what all that we have from our students. That's, as a teacher, you, I think you are a teacher as well, you can
Yeah.
understand very well. The
Yes, yes,
salary may
ma'am.
not be too great, but what we get is much more than what these people are earning huge, with huge salaries.
Definitely, ma'am. Means I can relate with you a lot because I'm a teacher, and really, at times, if I get messages from them, it's like beautiful. I want to really share here one of my incidents. I remember I started teaching, coaching students like when after my 10th standard, and I remember I used to teach those small kids of KG, first, second standard, third standard till fourth, fifth. And after that, I got married, and after 15 years, no, we got this Facebook, and I got one of my students over there on the Facebook, and he means by that time he has become CA. And I really messaged him, Vinny, it's great to see you on Facebook, you have grown so tall and you have become a CA. Means I'm happy that I was a part of your learning journey. So I was a teacher, and he said, because I too was young, and he replied me back, you're not a teacher, you are a didi for us till today. So this is the beauty, this is the love we get from children, no? After years also they remember, yes, this teacher. And I too remember that I remember many of my teachers as well. They have helped me in my teaching journey, my academic pursuits and all. I can very well understand and relate. Yes, guys, this is very well said by uh, Geeta ma'am over here, that yes, becoming their friends, talking to them, not restricting, but understanding, empathizing them, and making them to know that setting an example for them. As we all know, they don't follow our advices, they follow us. So what we do, they will follow. Beautifully said, Geeta ma'am. This is a takeaway from what you have really said right now. And my another question would be, Geeta ma'am, that how was your life like from your childhood? Then a teacher means, how was your journey? I really want to know.
Yeah, sure. Let me tell you that we are four sisters. I'm the eldest of all. Eldest.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. I will tell you a very interesting story here. When my youngest sister was born, that's the fourth daughter in the family, and just 2 or 3 months before her birth, there was the birth of my chachi's son. So the first grandson in the family, and there was a huge party, dance, function, and everybody was elated. It was the first grandson's birth in the family. So even I enjoyed a lot. I was just 10 or 11 years old then. Enjoyed happily dancing with my friends. And after 3 months, my youngest sister was born. And the environment was totally different in the family. No dance, no party, no gift. And that gave me such a shock. I was very, very shocked. I was feeling so bad. And my grandmother in one corner, she was crying away, literally crying away. And she kept saying, what will happen? Mere bete ka kya hoga? Ab char betiyan sar pe. And she was really very, very unhappy. And I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what a big burden, she said, burden on my son's head. And I went to my mother and asked her, why is grandmother so unhappy? Why is nobody picking my sister? She's so cute. She's so beautiful. Why is no one picking her up? And why no gifts, nothing, no party? Why so? My mother just tried to hush me down and she said, it's okay, beta, go and study. Don't bother about all these things. These things keep happening. I said, no, you have to tell me. And why is grandmother again and again saying that we are burden on Papa? Why is she saying that? When I continuously was adamant to listen to the answer, then she just explained in her own way. She said that girls are called burden because they get married and they go away to another family and they have nothing to do after their marriage. They don't have any responsibility towards their parents. It's so everything they have to go forward with their husband's family. They are her duty. They are her sole responsibility. So that shocked me so much. My little mind, there and then, that little girl of 10 years, she made a promise that no matter what happens, marriage or no marriage, I will never let this happen in my parents' life. They will get all the respect and honor that they deserve even after I get married. And I told her that even the universe conspires to be with your side. So when I made up my mind that I will never let even the whole universe conspires to be with your side. So when I made up so that day, uh, I really made up my mind. And after many years, when I got married, thankfully, my husband, I got married to such a person who was equally helpful to me in taking care of my parents. My sister's husbands, all of them were extremely luckily. I thank my stars for that. My parents lived a very respectable and honorable life throughout. My mother lived like, my father died quite early, but my mother lived like a queen. Just last year she expired, and the last few years, about 6-7 years, she was totally with me. She was taken care of. Nobody uttered a word about this. And this is how we are going to change the society, isn't it? Why do we think
Yes.
that girls are burdened? Girls can do all that what boys can do. So this is something very, just by telling about equality is not important. Merely talking about, these are the little things that we really need to do. We need to wake up. Girls' parents are equally important, so give them all the respect. They take all the trouble in giving birth and taking care of their children, giving them proper education. My father was so liberal, my parents were so liberal, they sent us to the best of schools, to a convent school, to the best school in the city. So it's our duty to take care of them when
Yes.
they are old.
Yes.
So this is the message that I really want everybody. Of course, things are changing, but still, even today, I find some of them, my own friends, when I feel that the mother is alone, the mother has become widow and she cannot bring her mother to her own house because of the responsibilities. I feel sad. Really feel sad. I tell you about one of my relatives. She was an adopted child and both my husband's mamaji's daughter. So these two parents, her parents had become very old, bent. He was a surgeon in his time, but during his old age, he was in his 90s. Both of them were in their 90s and they were bent totally. But still, she could not dare to bring her parents and make them. They were there alone, taking care of themselves. They were under the care of the servants. So this is something which the society needs to change. It's only in India that such things do happen.
Yes, somewhere in India, if you'll face this, because I literally think of this thing. No, some means maybe it's a kind of mindset. Like, yeah, this happens in other countries, may not be India, but it's really, really means now how much parents are important to us. And the thing you talked about, like, yes, girls are equally important. I too remember I belong to a Marwari family, and I was not that unacceptable child, like as a girl child. But yes, I proved, at the age of 18, my parents were like, you have to get married. It's like, not at all. Means I know a few days I just kept quiet, and when I bursted, I was like against all of them. I'll study on my own. And I earned, I showed them. I earned on my own and I studied and I did. And because of that, I think I am here. Only my mother was with me with for that decision. Otherwise, everyone was against me. But yes, when I look back, it was really it was a great decision I think I have taken in my life, to study rather than getting married at 17 or 18, or haven't, or not even
Yeah,
completing
Shweta,
the
I've been
education.
watching your YouTube videos and I'm really inspired. You're really a motivation for so many people. You're such an inspiration, really. And another thing that I would like to share is I'm so happy that we joined the Leaders Are Readers Book Club.
Yes, book club.
And
Yes.
I joined Toastmasters as well as Leaders. I joined only last year. I wish I joined earlier because there are so many takeaways from there. And I met people like you, which are who are a source of inspiration. And Abu Shadab, you, Shefali, all of you, I really learned so much from you youngsters and really feel that even I should be doing. And I've started writing a book on
Oh wow.
parenting. On parenting, and I hope to complete it soon. And then I'll take some of your help as well when I
Sure,
complete
ma'am.
the
I'm
book.
ready anytime.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration to us, when we see you talking about your things at Leaders and Readers group, and that really inspires us. And you participate in every activity, sharing everything. This is also very bold to come up even at this age, or whatever be the stage. It's really difficult for people to, I know, no, I talk to a lot. They don't come up with their things, and the way you present your things very transparently and giving us lessons and all, we are learning a lot from you, Geeta ma'am. You may or may not be knowing, but really we are learning a lot. And when
Thank
I'm
you so
talking
much.
about thank you, ma'am. And when I'm talking about some learning, I really want to ask you this question: what you have learned from your children, like children, maybe those you have taught, or from your own children, the lessons, the big lessons that you have ever learned.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. First of all, from my students, let me talk about my students. You learn when you go to school every day, you're learning so much, especially these children these days. My God, I teach the senior classes, 11th and 12th, and those children today, they are so focused and they are full of knowledge that when you go, you need to go fully prepared. You need to go when you are teaching them. You cannot take liberty with them. You can never take liberty. They are so smart. Because of social media, perhaps they are full of knowledge. They have vast knowledge to and if you don't go prepared for suppose someday I feel today, let me just go, I've been teaching for so many years, immediately they'll come out with a particular question which will keep so you have to go prepared every day. And
Yes.
they're full of life and energy. I really love these days. And especially when I go out with them for trips, I can never forget. I used to try to go out as much as possible. We went to Goa, we went to Nainital, we went to a number of places together, Panna. And whenever I went out with them, like as I told you, I participate with them. I am friendly with them. We play, we sing songs together in the bus, in the train. Whenever we go, we sing together. We sing together. Then dancing, they can dance for the whole night. When we were in Goa, I remember it was so difficult to stop them from dancing, and then participate with them, and they enjoy. When the teachers also are in their group, they do enjoy. And trekking, the mountain trekking, Nainital, Shimla. We went to Shimla recently. So when you go trekking, so all these things helped me. I enjoyed with them and I learned a number of things. I would never have gone there to go trekking and all that, but going with them, I learned a lot. And yeah, and from my own children, I tell you, thankfully, by the grace of God, as I told you, they have turned out to be morally strong character. And sometimes when they teach me, Mama, so what, you've earned so much, give this much for donation. It doesn't matter at all. कुछ नहीं होगा ना, कुछ भी साथ लेके नहीं जाना हमने. So try to donate as much as possible. And we don't need anything because they're doing well. We don't need, and किसके लिए जमा कर रहे हो? जो करना, enjoy yourself and give it to the needy people. So that's something amazing. And sometimes I tell you one example, though I will not narrate that incident because my daughter doesn't want that to be narrated. There was certain incident, yeah. So there were certain things which I could not dare to tell the people openly. Like I had already Okay, let me tell about this. Like there are one or two incidents in her life connected with her. Like once she was admit this thing in a MBA college, in a very renowned college, but due to certain reasons she could not be there. She had failed in her internal examination, college examination. So after clearing her interview and everything, uh, and getting that admission in a very renowned MBA college, she had to come back, and that was really sad. And so what happened in my school, I had already given a party to my colleagues and I already told them about the admission in the college. So I could not bring myself to tell the truth that she has come back. She has failed and she has come back. So I could not bring myself. Whenever they would ask me, how is your daughter? How is she doing there? I would say, yeah, she's doing fine. She's enjoying herself, nothing. I would not bring myself to tell honestly. Then one day, both my children called me and said, what is there? What is there? Why are you ashamed? I feel doesn't matter, but I'm doing so, I'm working hard, isn't it? So you shouldn't be ashamed. So these are the little things sometimes you learn from it, and you shouldn't be telling a lie. You shouldn't be lying to your friends when they ask you that, how's your daughter doing there? Why do you tell them she's doing fine? I'm not doing fine there. I'm already back here. So why do you tell? So these are the little things sometimes we had been teaching them when they were small, but now they teach us a number of things and we ought to learn from them. So, and there are one or two more incidents which I might tell later about that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, you very well said. I mean, being a teacher, also, I can say that I learn a lot from children, even while teaching, online, offline, whatever be the platform. And yes, my child too, sometimes, the way he inspires me, the way he keeps me consistent is really awesome. Sometimes I say, yeah, I have some kind of this and that thing, but you have the way he kept me consistent. He is one of the factors, he's one of the major factors for what I am doing today, or the books I have written, or whatever I am doing. He is there always with me. This is beautiful, and we
Yeah.
learn from children. Yes, very very nice. One more thing, ma'am. I have read in your bio also that sometimes you work with some underprivileged children. You teach them, and this is something very. This is something very humble of you. It's your benevolence that you go over there and you go. But I just want to ask you a question that what kind of difference do you find between those children and those who you are teaching every day? What's the difference?
Okay. A very, very nice question, Shweta. Really, really, that's very close to my heart. Um, there are underprivileged children nowadays, 25%, even in every good school, every renowned school also needs to take 25% of these children. And I tell you, it's really amazing that some of the children are doing so well. They work so hard. They work so hard in spite of the fact that they are not getting any benefits at home. Their parents are totally uneducated. They are the children of the chokidar of our school or the maid, or in spite of that, they don't have all those privileges which the other children have. And in spite of that, you will really be amazed that not all, a few of them in every year we find at least 3 4 such children in the class who are doing better off than the normal children, who are getting
No.
all the facilities, all tuition classes. And so when they do so well, I really feel happy to call them. And though after the school or sometimes at home I do call them, and even my own maid servant, her son, my God, she has two sons. The elder one was really doing very well. Couldn't believe that he could read English, he could understand English, though the younger one was slightly naughty and never willing to study. But the elder one was doing so well. And when they're doing so well, but unfortunately, after this lockdown period, all these people have suffered a lot because they don't have the laptop, they don't have proper equipments for that, and many of them had to leave the cities and go back to their village. And the children, she had so much. I tell you about my own maid. So she started dreaming big. They all have the right to dream, isn't it? So she wanted, like, because her son was not studying properly, he was missing out because of the company. So she said that he had that caliber. I said he's really good in his studies. Only thing, he needs to concentrate more in his studies. So she said, I'm planning to shift to a good society, though I'll have to pay a lot of money, but I will shift for my child. I will shift to a good. See the kind of dreams they have.
Dreams they have.
Though it's not easy to mingle with these children, with the children of the higher class, they will not accept these children very easily. This is seen even in the schools. So these
Schools.
children, sometimes some of them do well, whereas the others get more aggressive. I've found that they get aggressive when they're ignored by the children and sometimes by the teachers also. Sometimes we do lose our temper also. You keep telling they become very annoying, and in order to gain attention, they start doing all sorts of wrong things as well. So there are problems with them, whereas a few of them do very well, very well, and we should help them. We should help them, all those who can, all the teachers who can pass on their knowledge to such children. It's very, very important, because the privileged ones will always get good tuition classes,
Yes.
and but these children need some kind of attention, otherwise they'll spoil the society also.
Yes, definitely, definitely, ma'am. Yes, this is very important. That yeah, I never thought about it. I just tried it. Yeah, I when I remember when I was not married, I used to teach my maid and no, their children and all. I hope. Okay. So it was beautiful, ma'am, that we have to really understand also that how important for all of us to go and make these children to understand the importance of knowledge, the importance of studying. And yeah, I
Because
will look
as
into
teachers, if
this.
we don't do something, what is the
Yes,
point of
yes,
our
I
being
felt this
teachers?
point today. Yes, yes, yes. This is beautiful. I'll try this also next time on because I'm doing something. So this is something you better spoke about, and I'll try. I will definitely say this. So, Geeta ma'am, now I want to say that any last message that you want to give to the viewers, to all the
Yeah,
people who are
one more thing
watching.
which is very, very important, Shweta. Through your channel, I would like it to reach to number of people. Like as I'm writing, I told you I'm writing a book on parenting. One more thing that disturbs me a lot, and in one of my keynote speeches also I've talked about this. Children are getting into depression, many of them. So and many of them are ending up with their life due to age studies or whatever. In my own family, two children we have lost. Two, one of my cousin brothers, one my brother-in-law, and both of them in 12th standard, and similar conditions, forced to take up subjects which they did not like or whatever
We
be the
don't want
case.
to
So
study.
we cannot
Yes.
blame anyone for this. But it's very, very important. So I'm writing this book according for this only, because it's very important that children should be understood, and you need to keep talking to them about these problems. Sometimes they get into depression and they don't even understand. They don't even understand these are very petty things. These are very petty things. We have to keep telling them that you have been suffering so much. I had suffered in my, all of us have gone through difficult times, isn't it? We all have gone through a number of difficult problems, but that does not mean that we have to end up with our life. Life is very, very beautiful, very beautiful. Just you need to cross that particular period, that particular phase of your life. Once you go to cross it, and for that you need a proper support of the parents, teachers, all the elders around. It's very important. So we need to take care of these children. They are very precious, very important, because the people who are left behind, it's unbearable pain. It's not, you cannot even imagine the kind of pain these people are going through. So let's keep talking to the younger generation. Let's keep telling them that life is beautiful. It's just a small phase which everyone, what they do, they just see the happy faces on Facebook. They think that the whole world is happy. They don't know each and every person. We are born in this earth, not just, it's not going to be just happy phases. It has to be both the phases. Sometimes we are sad due to certain things. There are tragedies in the life, there are joys in the life. So let us talk and do something for the younger generation. That's important. That's very important
Yes.
again.
Beautiful, beautiful, ma'am. This is beautiful because, and somewhere I feel why this happens because we are actually fulfilling all their wishes. Whatever they are demanding, we are producing more than that. And sometimes when they don't get it from life, because actually the life comes, and
Yeah.
when the life is not providing them, they feel suffocated. Yeah, we have to teach,
They don't know how to
grant
take
them.
no.
Yes,
They
yes,
cannot
we have
accept
to
a no.
accept. Yes, we have to nurture in that
They,
way that we should not give them extra. Whatever is
yeah.
required, that much should be
And they
produced.
don't understand failures also. Our time we used to fail, children used to fail and happily mingle up with the next group of students. But today, I know, being a teacher, if they fail in the class, they will leave that school, join some other school, because they cannot accept the failures at all. And that's
Failures.
wrong.
That's
That's wrong.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful, and this is a different chit chat today, like I had with you about children. And it was beautiful. And I really learned this lesson from you. Like, especially, I'll do something about underprivileged children. Yes, if I'll be able to do, maybe teaching or in whatever the things. I really picked it from you today. Thank you so much, Geeta ma'am, for being one of my guests over here on this show, Vocal with Local. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Shweta, for giving me this opportunity. I'm indebted to you. Thank you.
ma'am. Oh, ma'am, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be with you over here. So, bye bye, guys. We'll meet you in the next episode with some new guests and with some new ideas and new experiences. Till then, goodbye.